Well, hello there, friends, and welcome to the Strangers in the Night podcast. I am your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend Eric.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, Eric? Good to see you, sir. And my good friend Roots. Roots, in contrast to the Sunday show, the more and more we get along into kind of the new era for us here, the more naked the Strangers in the Night intro seems to me. It seems a little underwhelming, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels like we need a new intro, right? Like another, like the other one. The other one's so good. So
It's like on Sundays we sit here for like 5 minutes after it's go time, waiting on the show to start, and then like Strangers in the Night, we hit the button and oh, camera's on, time to go. I need my preparation time, Roots.
yeah,
This is a little too quick.
minute and a half, 2 minutes. I had so much preparation time with all the. This is the thing. Technology. Wes was running into problems. D was running into problems. I run into problems. I come out here. OBS won't let me change my settings. Like I had to reset my computer. Like guys, come on, man. Like I just at some point.
Come on, man.
I want to freak out. I just like as I'm restarting my computer, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what is wrong with this thing? I don't know.
Who,
I'm
who the
okay
hell
now.
knows? I'm on freaking McDonald's Wi-Fi here in the hotel, and it seems to be running fine. So how do you
Perfect,
figure this out?
perfect, right?
Yeah, right.
Well,
Yep.
technology is certainly a double-edged sword, and Roots and I have definitely seen the blunt backside of that sword. But for you, Eric, you've had a pretty sweet few days there on the cutting edge of the technology, haven't you? There in San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, I don't know, this is like a kid at Christmas. I keep telling my wife. I mean, it's just, you're talking to people that you kind of like have just idolized for what they do and what they create, and you get to see them and talk to them and just and just get to pick their brains on what they think and how they do these things. And you know, when you sit there and you can talk to people like Stan LaRoque and all these great people that you're like, wow, how am I even in the same room with these people? But yeah, it's just like a playground for VR people like us. This GDC is like it's like going to Hollywood and meeting an actor if you still liked actors and they weren't all douchebags.
Well, it's nice. It's nice to be able to put a face to the names. We uh, literally we're working with people all around the world, literally from all around the world. But we typically, even in these cases where some of these people I've been working with for years at this point, I still have no idea what they look like because we work mainly through email, right, or direct messages or Discord. Never face to face like this. So it must be nice for you to sit down in front of these people, see what they look like, who they are, and not only is that cool that you get to put a face to the name, but also cool because when you're in a room, no electronic communication, no recording devices, people tend to be a bit more candid with you, don't they?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And it's great because it's goes the opposite way too. I was telling you guys, a story that the developers, the lead developer for Everslaught is a huge fan of Virtual Strangers and West, and mentioned West by name. And I said Virtual Strangers. He's like, I love West, and you guys were so good to us when we launched our game, and you guys. They were, all the developers. He said when we talked about their game, they were sitting in a room watching Virtual Strangers, and that is like super surreal for me to have these guys looking at us and appreciating what we're doing. And I told them today that that's what you guys basically founded this show on, and why I'm so proud to be a part of it is because we bring the games to the people and we bring the developers to the people. And so to hear them talk about us that way, I mean, like I'm going, holy crap, I'm in here with Jihad from Everslaught developers, and he's like, holy crap, I'm sitting here with Mash Daddy Cool, who's from Virtual Strangers. So it's just a cool thing, man. It goes both ways, and I just keep telling myself, I wish I was here with you guys. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Because a lot of this is me here by myself. I mean, I'm hanging with some people that are really cool with Alex and Steven, but most of this time is spent by myself, and to enjoy these things with you guys would make this so much better for me. You know what I mean? So, because I just know that you guys would completely geek out over this stuff like I am, and it's just someday. I just hope someday.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was talking to our friend Amber at Resolution Games earlier tonight, and I said exactly the same thing to her. Like Eric's on the ground having a blast in San Francisco, and I could have gone. I could have gone, and I chose not to. But now, like instant regret, as I knew it would be. Um, but yeah, this is how we learn, right?
Yeah, yeah. Next time, that's what I keep saying. PAX West is coming. There's this stuff coming, and it's. I know it's not easy for any of us to do these things, and I just count myself as completely lucky and blessed to be able to do these things, and I just I want everybody to do them with me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'm a
but
little bit
PAX
selfish. I'm a
East.
little selfish that way.
Yeah, she mentioned PAX East to me by name. I'm not sure, but I think that one's in Boston. So that's not going to even really be that big of a trip for you, is it?
But I'm going to be away. I'm going to be in Florida, so I have credentials for press for PAX East, but I will not be able to attend, unfortunately.
Oh,
And yeah,
oh,
it's about an
brutal.
hour and a half. It's about an hour and a half away, the closest damn show to me, and I won't be able to make it.
Hmm.
Disneyland
Yeah.
can wait, bro. Let's be honest. Disneyland can wait.
Hold on, let me get my wife. You can tell her. Hang
Yeah, sure, sure.
on.
Um. Anyway, shout out to Jihad. That guy's super cool, isn't he? Like we've basically we've had a pretty good relationship with those guys since it was at MobX Studios since they announced Everslaught. And I get it. I mean, these indie devs, they don't know how well received that their game is going to be when they first put it out. I mean, they know how to make games, but as you can see, they're kind of they live in their own bubble the way that we live in our own bubble, and they really don't know how people are going to react to it. So I'm sure it was a big relief for them uh, when we kind of unveiled to the world how awesome Everslot is. And it's gotten even better since then. And I'm sure, as we're going to talk about here in a little bit, it's going to get even better still, isn't it?
Be a name that you're going to be hearing a lot of in 2022. I do have a full interview with him coming, probably next week sometime, and yeah, I mean, remember Everslot? Remember how much we talked about it? And they have huge news coming in 2022.
Absolutely. So more on Everslot in a few minutes. Before we move along too much, I do want to acknowledge the tip train, which actually took off pretty early today before we even got here. Felipe, I stand with D. Laros says, here's some proof that I was here and Kyle was not. Always a priority. Y'all have a good night and thanks for the awesome content. That's $5 donation from Felipe. Very much appreciate it, sir. And just so you guys know, Kyle is not here.
What the hell, Kyle? What's the
Kyle,
matter with you, bro?
Felipe was here, bro. Where were you? The hell, man.
And Zayla Maru with the $10 donation says, good evening, strangers. Already had a couple shots of tequila. So see there, Eric, you're not drinking alone tonight, bro.
Dude, I had a couple of well, maybe about 5 gin and tonics before I got here. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got one coffee and two coffees. So we're ready for a nice long show.
Can I have one of those? I need one.
Yeah, for real.
If you come and get it, bro, it's all yours. I'll make you one fresh as soon as
Sweet.
you get here. Anyway, any signs of PSVR 2 on the at GDC? I know they're not doing anything official from the Sony side, but I did see on Twitter about a half an hour ago that at least one indie dev was thanking Shuhei Yoshida for his personal private demo of PlayStation VR 2. So I got to imagine, even though there isn't like an official event going on, um, can I assume that it's kind of like CES? It's kind of the thing that everybody wants to talk about.
Yeah, it is for sure. And GDC is weird because there now I've only spent probably about half a day on the show floor, and the expo didn't open until today. So Monday and Tuesday is all summit talks, which is basically just talks from developers to other developers. So it's basically all learning and meetings. And the show floor opened today, so I haven't seen everything there is to see. Tomorrow, I will spend most of the day on the show floor. I just had a ton of meetings today, and that pulled me away from the show floor. But GDC is weird because there are a million people that are showing stuff that are not officially at GDC. So there's little pop-up places that you can go to, or if you can get,
Hotel
if you,
rooms.
yeah, exactly, suites and hotel rooms and lobbies and bars and private events where if you can get invited to, you can go check things out. So basically a lot of my time is spent bird dogging all these things, trying to get invited or get into these things. Like I got lucky enough to do this morning, go try the Lynx, or this afternoon, I should say. So, yeah, I mean, it's really weird. I'm sure he is here, and he's probably in a suite somewhere, and he's probably showing it off. And now that I've seen that, I will do absolutely everything I can within the next 2 days
Mm.
or 3 days to figure out how the hell I get my foot in the door. Because you don't know until you try. I mean, I didn't realize that I would be talking to Stan LaRoche this morning, or this afternoon, when I woke up yesterday, and I am. So, and I did, and I got an interview. So, you just don't know. So I'm not gonna never say never. I'll do what I can to do whatever I have to do to try and get in there. But if they're showing it, I want to see it.
Yeah. So, and obviously, we'll do whatever we can to kind of support you in that endeavor. But you did manage to get yourself a seat in the Unity PSVR 2, I guess, event tomorrow. I don't know what it's called, if it's a keynote or a lecture, whatever they're calling it. Unity's giving a talk tomorrow, uh, uh, based all around development of PlayStation VR 2. And while obviously there's going to be a lot of technical stuff being said, I'm sure you're going to be able to glean a few um, a few new details for us while you're in there.
Yeah, it is. It's a talk basically on using Unity with developing games for the PlayStation VR 2. So, it's going to be very, technically focused. But yeah, I'll be able to get a lot of stuff gleaned from it. And the people that are in that room are going to be people that are developing for the PlayStation 2. So just me being in that room and maybe I can talk to some people will be helpful. So yeah, I'll be seeing developers who may have already had hands-on experience with the PlayStation 2 that maybe can give me a little bit of info. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it. Thankfully, I got in late, but I was able to get a seat for it for tomorrow afternoon. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You've already spoken to certain developers that obviously have to remain nameless, but people you wouldn't expect to already have PSVR 2 development kits that do, which is exciting, right? When people on that tier have them, you got to imagine that everybody that wants one pretty much has them, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have indie developers who have them. So that the AAA developers have had them for quite a bit of time. So I'm talking to quite a few indie developers, more than one, who are telling me that they have their hands on them and are ready and are already developing for them. So if these guys have them, that the big guys have them and have had them for some time and probably have several. So yeah, it's extremely
Makes me
exciting
excited.
news. Oh, it's so crazy. Yeah. I mean,
Well, I'm
anytime I hear
excited.
anybody talking about it, it gets me jazzed up because guess what? They're excited. When they're talking about it, their eyes are like this. So,
What really excites me, a lot of things about that excite me, but what really excites me about this is like, the PSVR community from day one, and obviously they had their run where that was the best platform in VR for 2 to 3 years there. Um, but all of the things that they've kind of had to go without and kind of watch PC have, but PS4 couldn't quite run it. Now that's all going away, and these developers that have pretty much lived on Steam all this time are now going to be able to bring their games to another platform, because obviously Quest is great. There's lots of people there, but you're limited if you go to Quest. You really have to kind of rebuild your game from the ground up for Quest. Whereas this is something that is actually more powerful in a lot of ways than your standard gaming PC. So with new features, which we've talked about a million times, all the new features. So I'm excited for those PSVR gamers that are finally going to get to access the full menu, so to speak, that VR has to offer.
yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of developers. It's weird you talking to these guys. They develop for the Quest because they feel they have to because that's where the audience is. But a lot of them don't want to. They prefer to develop for higher quality because they get nerfed, right, when they have to do these things, and they don't want to be nerfed. They want to be able to do what they want to do, and so a lot of them right now are talking, very excitedly over the PlayStation VR 2 because they think that they're going to be able to hit. They think they're going to be able to hit the numbers that they want to hit with, getting away from maybe Steam and getting into, something bigger like the PlayStation VR 2. So they're going to hit the numbers they want to hit, but they're not going to have the limitations that they currently have with the Quest 2. So not all of them are like that, but there are some that just want to make the best beautiful game they can, and unfortunately, sometimes they can't with a mobile headset.
Plus, you have a straight shot to get
And
the game in the store. Like Sony, like at least if when they have an issue, they're going to tell you you need to do this, this, and this, and then you get your game in the store with Quest. How many developers we don't even know that probably have games out there that just didn't make it, right? They just said, sorry, you're not in. Sorry. I don't know.
yeah, and we definitely see, you talk about developers wanting to get away from Steam and have someplace else that they can go. What an opportunity for Epic Games, right? Because they do have a close relationship with Sony, and Epic, struggling to kind of gain ground on Steam on the traditional games uh, side of things. But if Epic puts themselves out there and kind of, you know, tries to carve out, an early spot for themselves in this burgeoning VR marketplace, they can leverage that relationship with Sony in a very positive way and really make up a lot of ground on Steam. Maybe not next year, maybe not the year after, but long term, as VR becomes a bigger and bigger thing, um, it, it's easy to see why Epic is focused on the kind of metaverse concept. And I would expect to see some big moves, not only from Epic as a game studio, but from Unreal Engine 5 with regards to VR. And it's going to be an interesting few years to kind of see how um, the marketplace realigns to kind of make way for the coming of new technology.
Yeah, we need a better platform. And Steam VR is okay. It's just not great, and it needs a better platform. It needs more focus. It's still not focused enough in Steam, and if Epic can do that, and if they see the burgeoning explosion that can be happening with virtual reality, and they decide to do that, we like I said, we need that better platform, and Steam has yet to really take advantage of what they have. So
Anyway, lots to talk about coming out of the GDC. Looking forward to kind of running down the list with Eric here in a few minutes. Also, talking some Pop One today. But before we get into any of that, let's kick this show off the way we typically do by saying hello to our friends in chat. The Melon Games is here and apparently hasn't been out of his house in 3 days, which is okay. As long as you've got your VR headset, then technically, have you really been in for 3 days? I've kind of been all over the universe in the last day, but I haven't physically left my house.
Oh, the Melon Game says he's still waiting for an opportunity to play VR. So I don't know
Oh,
if it sounds like a long 3 days.
yeah,
bravo. Yeah, man, that's terrible. I'm so sorry, Melon Games. You got to get a Quest, bro. Everything, disregard everything negative we just said about the Quest platform and go lay down 3 bills and you'll have a one-way ticket or two-way ticket to any place in the digital universe. Instantaneous travel. You'll love.
Yep.
Onakazi is here. What's up, Onakazi? As is Island Kara. What's up? Mr. Tasselhoff is here. Says literally just fell asleep and then the toddler calls. That's how it goes, bro. That's how it goes. Hussein X joining us tonight. What's up, brother? Dark Angel is here. She says it is Boston indeed. 1 month. So there you go. Let's see here. Zala Maru, we already said hello to. Thank you for the $10 donation, sir. Chinatown D is here. Mas Tequila, she says. Good call. ET2K9.now is here. Says MASH is making it work. Absolutely. MASH is making it work.
Getting it done.
Getting it done. That's right. Guido 7335. What's up, Chris? Hope you're having a good night tonight. Daniel Kaz is here. I'm itching for some poker, but I'll keep this on in the background. Awesome. Have fun. Good luck with that. Boognish 66 is here. He says, hi, all. What's up, Boognish? Radio Runt's here. He says he's loving the Fallout 4 videos. They're the best. He says he was yelling at his screen while he was watching me play. So Radio Runt didn't catch most of my stream live last night. By the way, night strangers, we did resurrect the Tuesday night live stream last night. So, all of you who used to frequent my late night streams, it looks like that's going to be a thing again. Had a pretty good turnout last night. Even though like my old regulars, most of them weren't there, or at least weren't chatting. I had a pretty good turnout, and yeah, apparently Radio Runt, as I know he would, really digging the Fallout 4 stream. So thank you, sir, for
Heard a
that.
lot of people chatting about it. I was watching the Discord today and saw a lot of people chatting about it. Chris was talking about it, your buddy Chris, and Guido, and he was talking about it. Radio Room was talking about it. People were excited about it. You got the diamond.
I like that game.
You got to the museum or something there. Is that right? Museum. Or...
Museum of Witchcraft. Yeah,
I hope you burned it down.
we had that. Well, I took care of the problem. We'll just say that. Like, we had a team go out there that we lost contact with, so I went to investigate. I found them, and I found what happened to them, and then I took care of it. It took a few tries. It was not easy, but you know me, I'm like a dog with a bone. I can't quit. I can't walk away from a challenge. We stuck it out and got the job done. So that was good fun, good times, and I look forward to getting back in there. Looks like Felipe Laras, we already said hello to, and Rawar, RA War 2377 says, when does this start? And that was at like 5 minutes after midnight. So it was like a long time before we were even scheduled to be here. So hopefully he gets a chance to catch the replay in the morning. And then Bluebell at the very top. At the very top of what I can see, apparently Bluebell is talking to Spry Guy. So Spry Guy must be up in there somewhere.
Yeah, Spry Guy came in, said it was too late as usual. Said he'll catch it tomorrow, and Bluebell jumped on and said, "Yeah, me too."
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up roll call. Thanks for hanging out, friends. Thanks for staying up late and talking a little VR with us. And obviously the headline tonight is GDC. But before we kick into that, we did get a chance to play a little VR today, and we finally got a chance, Roots and I, check out this Metropolis update for Population 1. And even before this update was out, Roots and I had been playing a little Population 1 and really kind of remembering just how good the title was, how fun it is to play. And it was excellent timing for this update. It gave us another great excuse to play more of a game we were already enjoying. And that's exactly what we did tonight. Roots and I teamed up with Chinatown D. Shout out to D. And we put a good hour plus into running this new map. And off the top, Roots, what were your impressions of the map in terms of size? We were led to believe at first that this was going to be like this huge thing, that it might even be its own map, which it kind of is in a way, the way that they have that one game mode set up. But for my taste, I found it a bit confining. What about you?
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely they made it seem like it was going to be a huge map, the whole thing, right? And it's its own map, but it's scaled down, right? I think Gamertag even had told us this, or somebody had told us that you can see the rest of the map around. I didn't quite understand what that meant until I saw. Like, you're literally looking at other parts of the map outside of the barrier of the normal map. So it's right smack in the middle of that map. And so it dawned on us as we were playing, maybe it was going to be a bigger part of the map. But yeah, it was definitely small. It's designed to be faster paced, right? So a lot of people don't want to play through the 40 minutes to get to the thing, or however long it takes. They want to get to the beef of the game quickly. And this is exactly it. It didn't matter where we landed. Most of the time, somebody was right there pretty quickly, at least a lot quicker than when you're playing the whole map. But it definitely was. It was pretty. It was very bizarre. Right. It was like we were in Hermione's backpack. It seems really small, but when we got in there, all the levels and buildings and all it was so intricate. It felt huge, right? I didn't feel confined to some extent at the same time that I did. It's very bizarre, actually, now that I'm really thinking about it.
Yeah, it's big for a section, right? In terms of the whole map, it's probably 20% of the map. But as a section in and of itself, it's larger than most, and it's built vertically, which makes it even bigger because it's so tall. Not only are the buildings tall buildings that you can go inside and out of, but they have these. They've added in these jump pads, which allow you, if you step on them, it shoots you straight up in the air over the top of the building level, and you can fly away to wherever you want to go, or you can drop straight back down. So, Eric, even though it's just a part of the overall larger map, that kind of verticality that it has really makes it a lot more. There's a lot more playable area in this compared to any of the other sections, isn't there?
Yeah, and it seemed to me when I was checking it out, it was like way more places to hide. Now you guys had way more time in it than I did because I just played a little bit of it during the during the test phase. I didn't play anything live yet. And I'm jealous that you guys got a chance to get in there this afternoon. But yeah, I mean, from what I saw, this seemed like there's a lot of nooks and crannies and little spots you can get into and how to hide. And there's a lot more indoor area than there is normally with some of the other parts of the map. So you can kind of like get into these shops where there's like loaded full of loot and stuff. And yeah, I mean, you said verticality. That's what struck me about the map right away. It's just way taller than any other part of the map that you would see. So, you can there's like 3, 4, 5 different levels to some of these things, and they're huge. And you need those jump pads just to get up to them where they are. But yeah, and shout out to Chinatown D. She said she got her first win today, Pop one
Yep,
ever. Was she with you
absolutely.
guys when
Yeah.
she got it?
She got her
I
second.
don't know if that was her first one, but we did win a game.
She got her
Win a
second
match,
one,
so.
and that was exactly what you said. We did a really good job getting to where the end. I think we kind of started there. And we got into this room, and Wes said, "Hey, there's a room here, and there's 3 walls, right? It's only one way, and there was these dumpsters, and so we were like able to. Wes ran out and kind of baited them, and then ended up dying, but they ended up coming back to try to find out where we were, and we ended up winning that one, and that was cool. It was really cool. Fun.
Yeah, it's really cool how they've designed this this section, because even though like the buildings are taller in this section, the dynamics are kind of opposite of the rest of the map. Like in the rest of the map, if you take high ground, then you're pretty much in an advantage no matter what. But the way they've kind of designed this, there's lots of overhangs so that people can get underneath the high ground and kind of out of the line of sight. And there's lots of spots inside the buildings for you to hide. So taking high ground, while it may be advantageous early on in the match, as that zone shrinks in, it actually kind of puts those guys at a disadvantage, because we were able to go in the one match that we won. We were able to go inside, find a good spot, and just kind of camp out as the map closed in around us. And then those guys kind of had to come down to us, and we were ready for them when they did. So very, very expert design. You can tell that they put a lot of thought into how they kind of constructed this. And high ground isn't quite as much of an advantage now as it was before. Furthermore, Roots, I found it really interesting, and it kind of bothered me at first, but I kind of get why they did it now. That there isn't a whole lot of loot on the roofs. Like that, they make it so if you want to stock up, you have to come down to ground level, and then if you want to try to take high ground, then you have to use a jump pad to kind of get back up there.
Yeah, they definitely want to get you down in there into the mix of things. And even like you said, just the way that everything's designed, the snipers couldn't snipe. They could only snipe for a short while, and even then, it was very easy to move around from building to building. Like even when they started, which was kind of cool, they started sniping at us. Wes just immediately just jumped right off the building and went right into one of those nooks, and it's just a lot of ways to duck and cover and get back out there. It's really cool. It's just
Yeah,
different.
that
It's a
was a
different
really
feel.
it was a unique situation. Like typically I would have died and we would have all died in that situation where we kind of came down on a rooftop with people who had landed before us who already had weapons. They killed Roots immediately and they got a couple bullets in me and then I just bailed off the side of the building and then we were able to revive it. That might have even been the match that we won, wasn't it, Roots?
It
Or
may
it was
have,
right around that.
yeah, it might have been. I just know that it was like one of those moments where you're racing for the gun and the guy gets it that second before you, and instead of him dying, you die, and my heart was broken. And then Wes revived me, and I was revived, and I was happy again.
Eric, that really the kind of the bottom line is though, is that a good game gets better. And here we are a year plus on from the launch of Population One. And I kind of feel like it's stronger than it ever has been today.
Yeah, I think it's gone in waves. You know what I mean? I think, there's been a core group that have always loved the game, that will always play the game, which is great. But there's people like us that played it early on and we kind of got bored with it. And so we kind of left it a little bit. But then they add something and then we go back. And I think it's important that they keep doing these things to get people to come back, because not everybody is going to play it die hard. People will go away and they'll go to something else because it's the new flavor, something else comes out. So they need to keep doing these things. I think this is a good sign that they're still putting stuff into this. They got to do more than just give me skins and give me stuff like that. Give me new maps, give me different gameplay styles, give me different stuff. So I think it was like the perfect time, because like I said, we were kind of getting into it a little bit again before this. We were starting to play it again, but I think this would definitely. I think we were kind of getting into this back in because we needed this to get back in to play the new map, right? We knew the new map was coming, so we all said, let's go back in and start checking it out again. I don't know if we would have done that without the new map, right?
Yeah,
That's you're very possibly correct about that. But when we got in, we were all kind of glad that we did because it's so good. And I think that when you look at multiplayer titles in VR, what is it? Maybe 10% of them succeed and most of them fail. I think that the success of Population One is kind of important because it provides a template for uh, the other developers out there to see this is how you do it. If you want a game that actually succeeds in the VR space, this is kind of the way you do it. You take a nice long development period. Remember, it took forever for this game to actually come out. But when it came out, it was right. And people took to it immediately. Everything worked well. The gameplay was fun and easy to pick up. And beyond that, they have supported it. Like you said, with substance, not just skins, but with the actual new content. So I think this is a good template for, say, like After the Fall, like for Vertigo Games. They should be looking at this closely and modeling because they want to do seasons as well. This is how you do it. Do you want people to be playing After the Fall a year from now, 2 years from now? This is how you support your game.
yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
By the way,
100%.
we're supposed to be getting a new harvest run today, guys. Like
Oh
Hollywood
my God, dude.
Boulevard. Roots, did you see that new gun? GT did a video early today playing it. Did you see the new
I
gun?
did not see the new gun. Is it
Oh
badass?
God, dude.
What's the new gun? Oh,
Dude.
is that the new like LMG or something?
Yeah, it's like a heavy machine gun, like a big heavy machine gun. And
Dude.
apparently GT had unlimited ammo for it. And was just like he was a tank. He was a tank with that thing, man. It just cuts down the horde like it ain't nothing. But the map itself looked like a fairly long, pretty big map and really beautiful scenery. Lots of snow breed, of course, and I can't wait to get in there and check that out later today.
Yeah, for
If it
real.
comes
12,
later today,
12
like
hour
every
stream
kind
from
of
Wes. You should 12 hour stream
nope.
it.
I gotta work tomorrow, bro. I would gladly do it. Like if my boss called and said, you know what? If you want to stream for 12 hours, take the day off. I'd jump in a heartbeat.
You got
But
your boss in a VR.
I've tried. I can try to get everybody into VR, dude.
I know, right?
Like I tell him to buy his kids VR, like everything. Um, so the Metropolis map playable right now in Population 1 in 2 different game modes, at least 2, that maybe more. But you can play it as kind of a part of the larger map and just play a standard game of squads in Pop 1 like you would any other time. Or for a limited time, for about 3 more weeks, they have what's called the Metropolis Royale, which sets the boundaries around that one section of the city. And this was kind of the faster paced style gameplay that Roots was talking about earlier. Eric, did they have both game modes available to you when you played it early in the beta cycle?
Yeah, I think it was just the one because with the beta cycle, it's tough because you only have limited amount of players. So if you had the big, huge map, it would be tough to keep everybody together, and it would be slow trying to get everybody in there. So yeah, it was just the basically you had the red zone started right around the Metropolis area, so there wasn't really any place to go unless they did it. They may have done it before I jumped in, but when I jumped in, that's all that was available.
Which mode did you prefer, Roots? We had a chance to try both. Did you prefer the smaller matches or the larger one
I
around the bigger map?
well, I'm kind of torn because I haven't played enough of the new map. This is the thing. I I enjoyed the newer map more this time because it forced all the action to go on in this new map and all those levels and stuff. But I like the overall bigger map of having the more time and gathering and stuff, right? But I really like the way that the city and the Metropolis is set up. The action, the fighting in there was a lot cooler. Like Dark said earlier, Dark Angel, the music in the club was cool. I was jamming to that, and then we died. People killed
Yeah.
us. So
Yeah, Roots was all digging the music, and we were being like
West
ambushed.
West is like, there's guys right
Accidentally.
here. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, you're just trying to enjoy some
Um,
music, and they come
That's
in and
right.
shoot you.
I know it's rude.
but
Why
I
are they trying to kill me? It's rude.
They think they're better than you.
They think they're these guys legitimately.
This man legitimately thinks that he is better than us.
What's up, friends? What's up, Berber Cat? What's up, Hack? Joining us. What's up, guys? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I kind of get the sentiment, Roots, that you kind of like being able to check out the new map while you were in there. So, you know, for today, like that game mode was preferable, but kind of long term, maybe the larger area is going to be the way to go. I enjoyed the larger the larger session, or for all the reasons you listed, but it's notable that like I had never seen the Wild West area before tonight when we did the larger area. So a lot of the map is new to me now. Like I've only done like the castle area a couple times, and I've only done the Wild West area once. So like there's probably 40 to 50% of the map that I haven't even played in yet. So that was all kind of new to me. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. But without a doubt, going forward, this is it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's fresh again, right? It's new again. Who knows how long it's going to last? But at least for now, we're digging this game, and certainly have designs on going back into it very, very soon.
I was digging the Mr. Tass again, man. I was crushing people. Well, I don't want to say crushing, but I was averaging about 4 kills a game. That's pretty good. So
It does make a difference, doesn't it?
makes a huge difference for me, literally. Like, cause this is the thing, and I laugh, and I'm not Mr. the best guy in this game either, but people run up to me and they want to go toe to toe. And I've got the Mr. Tass, and I've got a P90 in my hand, and you're gonna die. The bullets are so fast, and I'm gonna hit you with every single one of them. And it's just funny because that gun melts people, and I just love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a gold one in one of those last matches
Ooh.
right before we got killed. But I'm starting to learn the weapons now. I'm starting to get enough time into it where I've learned a lot of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them anyway. They seem like they've been rebalanced. Like there's a lot. It seemed like there was more recoil on some of them than there was before. But I don't know. Maybe
The
it's just
AK, yeah, the AK for sure. The AK used to be like a laser, man, and they had to change it because it was almost too good. It was you could pinpoint it from like far away, almost use like a sniper rifle, and they did change it where they put way more recoil on it, so it's not as good as it used to be, but still the UMP and the P90 are probably the two best weapons in the game.
Yeah, I love
certainly
the P90.
noticeable. Yes, the new recoil certainly noticeable for me as someone who hasn't even played the game all that much. Like it was immediately noticeable for me. So anyway, shout out Scion. He'll dig that, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. He needs to go back in there.
Even though he's just going to stick to knifing people in the face, most likely.
Or that cool katana, right?
Yeah, there were huge Michonne katanas in there, surprisingly.
He's too busy in Proton
Anyway,
War. He can't go to Pop One.
That's true.
Anyway, Pop One is fun. We all already knew that. It's even better now. Go check it out if you haven't already. Free update that launched just last week, and the Metropolis Royale, just a few weeks left on that one. So if you want to get in on that fast pace action, be sure you get in there ASAP. That way you can get your reps in, learn the map before that goes away for good.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move along and let's talk a little bit about GDC and some of the things Eric's been seeing there. I'm going to kind of, kick off these different topics with you, Eric. But we talked a little bit off the air about a lot of these things, and I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say. So after I kick it to you, I'm going to kind of let you take the lead with most of this stuff, so I don't end up getting us in trouble here. So first thing I wanted to talk about was kind of, let's get warmed up on some hardware talk. And kind of the one thing that really surprised me the most out of everything that you're talking to me about today was just how blown away you were with your demo of the Lynx R1 mixed reality headset. Tell us a little bit about this experience.
This thing is amazing. I mean, I think we've all probably seen this video now of the demo they have where you're basically inside of a you're looking at your own surroundings. You're looking at your own room or whatever you're in, and you see this solar system basically overlaid, over your surroundings, and you're allowed to interact with it. Like I was in this hotel suite and I'm seeing the people standing around me. I'm seeing, all the furniture, and I'm seeing the walls in the room, all within perfect color and everything I'm seeing. And then there's this whole entire sphere of a solar system that I can step inside and out of. And when I step into the sphere, I see all these planets, and I can go right to the middle, and I can physically take my hands with no controller. This is all hand tracking, and I can see my hand, and I can grab the sun, and I can grab it right out of the thin air, and I can take it, and I can walk across the room and put it down, and I can grab it again and move it over here, anywhere I want. It's, and then you can do that with any planet, and then when you do that, when you move a planet inside the solar system, all the other planets, the gravitation changes and they all start moving around. Now, this is just a tech demo. He's just basically showing the same tech demo that they always do, but it's so impressive. Like, again, I've seen this thing probably 30 times, this demo. But when you do it, when you're in the headset and you do it, it completely blows your mind of what this thing can do. And I was already, on board with this headset already. And I'm just like, holy crap, what am I looking at here? How is this possible? How is the hand tracking this good? And I'm talking to Stan LaRoque, the creator of this, and he's like it's no big deal. I mean, oh, we got that. We've known that for a long time. We got great hand tracking, but I'm just like amazed because I'm looking at the hand tracking of like some of the Quest stuff, and it's like okay, but it's not great. And he's doing this, and it's like the best hand tracking that I've seen ever. And again, it's one tech demo, so I don't want to go crazy. But again, if this is a glimpse into what they really can do, holy crap, man! This thing is going to be amazing.
So no controllers with this device as of right now.
So right now they're going to be making their own controllers that they're going to ship later this fall. So this is one of the questions I did ask him. So you can use it right now, hand tracking. You can use it with the Valve Index controllers, the knuckle controllers with base stations, or they're going to have their own controllers that you're going to be able to purchase later in the fall.
What's the tracking technology that they're going to use for the controllers? Do you know?
I don't. I don't. I know that again, the ones for the index, of course, has to be base stations. He didn't give me any information on their technology for controllers.
And what about the pass through? What's the quality of this? Is all camera based AR, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's just like your pass through for your Quest 2, except it's like perfect. You know what I mean? It's like color and you're seeing everything as you normally would see it. Now, again, it does look like you're looking through a camera, which of course you are. So, but I mean, it's just black and white when you're looking at the pass through on a Quest 2. This is perfect. It's like looking through a camera. It's just it's done so well. I'm just like amazed that you know a Kickstarter company has done this so well and Oculus hasn't had it ready yet. It should be out there by now. Um because it's like it's almost perfect. Like I said, I was looking at my entire room, and everything around me looked sharp. It looked good. It looked clear. There was no static. There was no distortion at all. And again, I was stepping in and out of this environment. So there's this huge sphere of this solar system that I can step inside of, or I can step outside of it, and I can grab things out of it and move it to a different part of the room. So when you're doing that, you're seeing everything move one to one in your own space. There's no lag. There's no delay. There's no again, no distortion in it whatsoever in this. So, um, completely blew my mind.
Basically, since Roots and I have been doing this, people have been kind of lauding AR as the future of of technology in general. But we've kind of, I don't know. I personally haven't quite felt the excitement for it. Roots, have you at all ever got into any of this AR stuff, or are you like me, kind of been kind of skeptical about the quality of the experience?
Yeah, I mean, even just what Eric is saying, you're still looking through a pass through, even though it's camera look, even though it's amazing, it's still going to be not the same as the VR clarity. Although, at one day there it is going to be, to where a 1 to 1. I think I get excited on some level when I think of it being combined together, like a mix of the two, right? Because I think that's where the gamers are going to be, where we're going to be. I never cared about doing shit at my desk in VR. I mean, I don't work at my desk. I'm out spraying bugs. You know what I mean? Like I could see it if a businessman and I sat in front of a computer all day long. It'd be like your dream, right? To be able to do what they all to do with moving all the screens around and doing your job and trading on Wall Street or whatever the fuck you're doing. I don't know. But yeah, no, I think the implications of what I would want is the mix, I guess. So
So early on with when trying to sell VR as the next big thing to kind of traditional gamers and non-gamers, people never really quite understood the how profound the experience was until you get the headset on your face, until you experience it for yourself. Would you kind of say, Eric, that there's some of that going on here that you really didn't get how cool and how profound the AR experience is until you try it?
Yeah, I mean for sure. And here's the thing with this too. I was the same way that Roots was. I was very skeptical as to what this was. Like I was like, is this an all AR headset or what is the VR part here? And one of the things I made sure I asked him today was, because if you look at it, it's a very open headset, right? There's no when you look at it here, it's tough to feel how you're ever going to get immersed in virtual reality when you look at that headset and you can see everything from the sides. But they are very focused on virtual reality here as well. So they want this to be a mix of a headset. They don't want it, they're touting the AR as this amazing thing to look at, but this is very much a virtual reality headset as well. And they do sell it with a facial interface that snaps onto the headset that completely blacks everything else out, just like a normal headset would, a normal VR headset would. But I think that they push the AR to show what they can do because AR is AR is kind of like it's where we all want to be, or I think we all will be eventually, is XR, which is a good mix of AR and VR together to where you can do both. So if you do want to have that pass through, um, experience where you're actually seeing things overlaid in your own environment, you can do that. But when it's time to go to a different world or to go to someplace else and you want to get away from what you're normally in, you can just put that facial interface on where it blacks everything out, and now you go somewhere else. You can go to a different world. You can go to, a different planet, or you can go to a different environment that you would not be able to go to in the past. So yeah, I think they're very much focused on both. So I think it's a good mix, and I was happy to hear that when he said that they're very much focused on VR as well as AR.
Do you think the AR,
Um,
having the open things would help with AR, right? Because if you're looking at your room as it is and you're seeing the overlay, you're not going to have that tunnel vision, right? Because you're seeing the same thing anyway. It might actually benefit and make you feel like you're not constricted as much.
Yeah, what was weird is what you guys are seeing in the picture right now. This video is exactly what I wore. Okay, so it's that headset with basically that whole visor piece like flips up and then flips back down, and you completely can see everything out of your peripheral vision because it's all open. Again, there's no gasket there, but I never noticed it. I swear to God. I mean, I was in it for probably 20 minutes. And I never noticed, oh, I can see this over here, or I can see that over there. And I'm with a room, this was in like a suite. I'm in a room full of probably 20 other people demoing these different things. I never noticed it at all. I was so focused on what I was doing in it, I just didn't see any of it at all. So it was never like, oh, I can see this over there, or that's bothering me over here, or I can see movement over here. I just never saw it. And I was completely just like engrossed in what I was doing.
yeah, Berber Cat in the chat says, "I think AR is the future in ways that we don't know. If you got an ugly girlfriend, it's a boon. Whack on a filter, and voila, no more ugly girlfriend. There you go.
Well, my
Ah,
response to that is, what if she's ugly inside? Then you're screwed.
oh, yeah.
Don't look at her insides, bro."
Run. I say run. Run and don't
Yeah.
look back and don't talk. No contact.
The Melon Game says, "I want to experience VR and AR for myself. 100%. You need to do it. It is, well, I mean, obviously for all of us, it was life changing, right? Literally changed our lives. And, we talk about our newest community member, Guido, who's been hanging around a little bit this week asking questions. He's having the same type of experience we had with it, guys. Like he's blown away, like speechless with it. And I keep telling him to savor it. This is the best time. Right now is the best time, and he's always from this point forward, he's always going to be kind of try to
Chase the
relive
dragon.
this. Yeah, he's going to be chasing the dragon from now on. But he's loving it, man, and he just has Quest. I mean, I guess he started on PCVR today, but I mean, he's been blown away with just the standalone stuff. Just like amazed with it.
No, he gets another chance when he gets blown away by PSVR 2. That's going to
Oh,
blow
yeah.
us all
That's what I
away.
told him. Yeah, that's what I told him. I told him that that's kind of the next big thing. The next step for VR is going to come when PSVR 2 launches.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anyway,
I was gonna say we all crave those moments that give us those goosebumps, and we all kind of chase, like you said, chase that dragon. And I had one of those moments today when I did this thing. It's probably the most profound thing I've done at the show so far, and I've done some pretty cool stuff. But this was one of those moments where I was like, "Holy crap, man! This is game changer."
Those lenses look
let's
very
see.
unique, right? The,
So cool,
the
man.
prism
And
thing.
what I noticed about them too, which I got to tell you guys, when you look at them, it looks like they're sectioned into four. Each lens looks like they're almost sectioned into four sections. So it's almost like, look, when you started this thing up, it almost looks through like you would imagine like a mosquito's eyes would look where you look, and then
Oh,
you see all these like different things because
yes.
the lens itself is sectioned into four different sections. So until that picture comes in and you actually focus and to see what you're seeing, it's weird the way it looks. I don't know how he did this, and it's something I need to check out and look at and research a little bit more. But it really fascinated me the way these lenses look. They were and I have a YouTube short up where Stan actually takes it and he's standing there with it, and at one point he flips the lid up and he shows the lenses, and you can see the sections in it of each lens. It's something unique that I've never seen before in a lens.
Wow.
Yeah, and the way they kind of deal with that is through the programming and the software. The software is kind of built around, outputting an image that is already kind of calibrated to what the lenses are going to do with it. So that's kind of how that works on a very basic level. Obviously, I'm not a developer or any kind of a technical expert by any means, but I know it's kind of the same concept of how Pimax deals with their edge distortion is by tweaking the software. That's how it's gotten progressively better over the last few years since Pimax became a thing. But by the way, I mean, are you going to get a chance to play your Pimax at all before you send it back?
I don't know, man. I got to stop going on these trips.
Because I'm very interested to hear what you think about that AKX. I want you to get enough time in it so that you're comfortable with it before you send it back.
Eric was telling me he's pretty secure that they'll let him hold on to it a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, and I recently picked up a 3080 Ti, so I'm gonna let them know that I want to test it both ways. So I haven't installed my 3080 Ti yet. I still have my 2080 Super. I'm gonna play it with the 2080 Super, which is basically like their minimum of what you really need to run it. And I want to see how it runs on the 2080, and then I want to go to the 3080 and see if there's a marginal difference. So I'm just gonna let them know that I need some time with it. So I think they'll be fine with that.
I need you to talk me into buying that instead of Camry.
I'll
Oh
tell-
boy,
What I need you to
I don't
do.
know if I'm gonna be able to do that. We'll see what happens.
Anyway, this Lynx R1 mixed reality headset. Do we have a price and release date for it?
I'm not sure what the price is. I think I kickstarted it for like 5 something.
I thought it said something
early
about
on.
$4.99 or something. In this trailer, it said something about a price at the beginning.
Yeah, I think it's right around there, like between high 4s and low 5s. I don't know what it is currently today. I know that was when I kickstarted it. But I know they're ready. He's talking about having the first models of Kickstarter out to the backers early in April. So he was talking about getting them out and being happy to start delivering some. I think you might see Stan out there delivering a couple like Palmer Lucky or
Gabe.
Big Gabe.
Well, this is my thing. I just recommend to this person. I don't know how well his face is known. Don't use a mask. Stand 12 feet back, but people need to see your face, Gabe. That's the thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got a mask on, you're just like everybody else. I don't know who the fuck you are. Give me my package and see you later.
They think he was the UPS man.
Yeah, for real.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to these getting out there in the wild. I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of software support it's going to have, because really, at the end of the day, even if it's an amazing piece of hardware, that's what's going to make it or break it. If there's no games, there's no software for it, nobody's going to buy it. So hopefully, it'll have a full palette of launch titles available for it, and we'll get to see its true capabilities when it gets in the hands of the early adopters here within the next month to 2 months.
Well, speaking of that, the flow you got, Eric, I don't know if you caught this on our last episode. What was it? Audi is now going to allow you to use your flow in the back in the new cars where you could. So we were thinking you need to convince your wife to let you pick that up. So you can use the flow. Yeah. You need to use your flow, bro. It makes logical sense.
I don't think that's happening.
Hollow ride, dude. Hollow ride.
I think more what's probably going to happen is the flow will probably go up for sale soon than me getting an Audi.
I don't know. I'll believe that when I see it. I'm calling
me getting
it.
An Audi or the sale?
You're getting that Audi.
You're getting the Audi.
The SUV.
Don't tell my wife. I see the next video.
Yeah, don't tell my wife.
What a headset that you need to do anything freaking profound with it. You got to go buy an Audi because basically I can't do anything else with it.
Hey, dude, you can squingle on it. You can totally squingle on that thing.
Can I play Marine Verse on it?
I hope not. Anyway, Lynx R1, not the only cool hardware you had a chance to interact with, was it? We also had a chance to check out the Skinetics Haptics. Is that correct? Did I say that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Skinetics. I think that's right. Yeah, Skinetics.
Yeah. So this is a competitor to the B Haptics haptic suit, is it not?
Yeah, I mean it's close. It's I don't think they're there yet. They're in the Kickstarter phase, so they need some work. But can tell you that what I demoed was really impressive. They had a demo where um it was doing some things that the B haptic vest can't do. They're not that I know of they can do anyway. They had a rain demo where it was pouring rain in the VR headset, and you can feel the rain on you. And the guy that was demoing it for me said move around, and I started moving around, and I could feel the rain hit me on different parts of my body. So if I moved over here,
Nice.
it hit me on here. If I bent over, it hit me on my back. So the tracking of it and the vest itself knew that certain parts should be going off in certain parts, or more heavier in one part than it was in another part, depending on where the rain was hitting me. So, yeah, I mean, again, they're not there yet, but I think they're getting there, and I think they really have something. They just need to do a little bit more to get there. But I was really, really impressed with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of form factor is this in? Is it a big heavy thing like the B Haptics?
Fits just like the B Haptics vest. Here's a couple of limiting factors of it, and where I say they need a little bit of work to do. Number one, it's wired. It's not wireless. Everything is done by Bluetooth dongle with the either a Bluetooth dongle or straight Bluetooth to your computer with the B Haptics, and that's a big thing, man, because you don't want to be wired. And this haptic vest is still wired, so that right there you have an issue. And it's really only has 16 sensors, to where you can go with the X40 of the B Haptics, and you get 40 sensors. Now, what I did in this, which is a limited demo, it was plenty fine for what I did. I mean, again, I was getting rumbling effects in parts that you can't. I had never got. Like there was rumble like up under my armpits with this vest, which they're just not in that spot on the X16 for the B Haptics. So they get the most out of the sensors that they have, and they're small. And what where they had a little bit on B haptics is no sound either. The B haptics have a tendency to rumble, or they'll make a buzzing noise when they go off. These are so small, there was no buzzing noise, nothing like that. So but just again, wired, a little bulkier. They need to tweak it. They need a little bit more work. I think they need some help with their Kickstarter, and hopefully they'll be able to kind of, again, you need more of these companies. Right now there is only B haptics, so there's nobody pushing B haptics. And again, B haptics does a great job, but that more is more, and you need that. So I'm really hoping that they can get through their Kickstarter, because I think they have something.
Just a vest with this, or do they have like a whole body thing coming up?
Right now, it's just a vest. They're touting the vest and trying to get through Kickstarter with the vest. I think they will have more stuff coming for haptics, but I think right now they're focused on doing the best that they can do with the vest, and then they'll move to different spots. But yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. I think they're just a few days into their Kickstarter, and I think they have about 28 days left. And they need to hit that Kickstarter goal first. But I was extremely impressed.
So so they are selling a product on Kickstarter. Is the product that they're selling on Kickstarter as is, like, is it like 100% going to be wireless or a wired thing like the one you tried today?
Yeah, if you're buying it now for Kickstarter, you're buying what they have, which is right now it's a finished product for them. I think the next iteration will be better, but this one is what it is. It is going to be a wired unit. You have to get past that. And I didn't have any problem with it. You know what I mean? It's just you want to be you want to be untethered. You know what I mean? Especially if you're in, say, like the Quest. But I'm used to wires. I play wired all the time, so I wouldn't have a problem with it. So Yeah, I mean, I think they have something a little bit special. They have a little bit different over B Haptics, but they have a couple of things that are going to hold them back.
Roots, curious about anything here with this
It's
new competitor to B Haptics?
Oh, I agree with Eric. Competition's always good, and as good as Haptics is, we want them to have competitors, right? And it looks good. I don't know if I'm too thrilled with a wire either. But I mean, what are you gonna do? As I say, it's not that big a
Oh,
deal to have a wire for a headset. It's kind of a, it's kind of the same thing with a thing. So I mean, I guess it could be okay. It looks like it's doing things that the other vest doesn't do. So I like that aspect. So
Big Chris says it's a haptic tail.
will the tail
Have
have
Schell?
haptics? Asking for a friend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
He's
who
saying
doesn't
that the cord will make a customizable tail, and
Special
maybe it'll have haptics.
a special sleeve or something, right?
Ooh, yeah.
So here's the thing about these startups like this, and we talk about it Sunday after Sunday, week after week after week. If you have a promising tech like this, it's a great time for you because people are willing to invest. Now, I don't know that their Kickstarter is going to be a success. I don't know if people are going to be willing to throw down a bunch of money for a wired product like this. But what I do know is if the tech itself is promising and they get the right people in there during GDC to try it out, then they may not even need that Kickstarter because people are throwing money into this concept of the metaverse like crazy right now. And I do think that there is a future for body haptics. It's just going to take someone making it lightweight and easy to use, and at that point, it'll take off. And up until then, it's all just kind of a big beta test, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can tell you I was impressed, and I think they got a good chance of making their Kickstarter because, like you said, Wes, they're right. There's a lot of people out there that want to see this stuff succeed and want to put money into it. So I think they will make it, and I'm interested in seeing more. And I talked to them. I think we're going to end up doing some type of interview with them at some point just to get more info. Because again, I'm on the show floor. I'm doing it quickly. I did have a time slot with them, but I only had about 20 minutes to a half an hour. I just didn't get all the info I wanted to get. I want to get more. I want to hear more. I want to get answers to some of those questions that you have, same as I have. So I think before their Kickstarter is over, I'm going to give them an opportunity at some point at some platform to come on and tell us their story and give us some better idea.
Yeah, yeah. Well, absolutely curious in how this thing's going to turn out. Would love to have the opportunity to try it out myself at some point and see if maybe this is the way to go. I'm very interested in body haptics in general. But they have a strong competitor right now with the B haptics, and even though they do offer some things that B haptics don't, I would say that B haptics also offers some things that they don't. So it's going to be curious to see how this thing actually ends up panning out over the long term, and especially the next couple of years.
Yep.
Anyway, why don't we talk a little bit of games? Hardware is great and all, but the games are what we're really all about. And you touched on it a little bit during the intro that you did have an opportunity to spend a good chunk of time with our friend Jihad from Mobx Studios about Everslaught, the past, present, and future of what is already an outstanding game in Steam Early Access. What kind of news can you share with us with regards to Everslot?
Um, so they have a lot of cool stuff coming. I mean, this is going to be a huge, number one, they've put a ton of work into Everslot since we even played it, Wes. And we really need to revisit this game because have patches. They actually just had another big patch recently, like within the last couple of days. But they're constantly working on it, and they're not done with it. They still want to do work on it. I can tell you that he's already talked to me about a campaign mode, which is something that we always kind of wanted to see. So that is a main focus for them for the Steam platform. But they're really focused on possibly bringing this to other platforms. Now, I can't tell you right now what platforms they are. I can just tell you that again, Everslaught's a
Plural.
game that you're going to want to look at, in and this year.
I think that it's important to point out
Platforms.
that platforms, right? Plural, not
Yeah.
platform. They are definitely going to go big with Everslot at some point, and that makes me extremely happy because what you say is true that they have put some significant updates into this game since we last played it. But what we do have a very good idea of is the core gameplay mechanics of it. And this game is almost unparalleled in that aspect of it. That fast paced gameplay. I mean, there's melee, there's shooting, there's grappling. I mean, this might have the best grappling I've ever experienced in a game, and it's not even the same type of game as the other kind of grappling style games. I love it. It plays like a legitimate Doom game in VR. And yeah, I absolutely agree. We need to get back into this one ASAP.
Yeah, for sure. And they're so proud of that grappling, man. And the movement in general. They're like, it's like they just. And when I told them that I love that they just didn't care, they're like, "We don't care if our game caters to somebody who gets motion sickness. We're kidding. We want to make this game the fastest, coolest thing you've ever done. And if you get motion sick, guess what? I'm sorry, this game's not for you. It's not for everybody. You know what I mean? Then they're not apologetic for it. But if you are a VR gamer and you have your VR legs, this is probably one of the smoothest, coolest movement mechanics you'll find in a game. And again, it's something they're super proud of.
Yeah, obviously I don't get sick very easily, but I was perfectly comfortable playing this. Roots, thoughts on Everslot?
I was thinking maybe they should slow it down. No, just kidding. I think that the movement is the best part, right? And it's just amazing, and it's cool to see that they're branching out. That they don't want to just stay on the one platform, right? I mean, Steam is, like you said at the beginning of the show, it's a great platform, but it's got its limitations, and there's a lot of other platforms out there. And I'm sure I'd love to see this on Quest. This is such an amazing, fast paced game, and I think it's got right now. Quest has the biggest pool of people to play. So
Yeah, and it's a very beautiful game on PC. But that's not why it's great. It isn't because it's beautiful why it's great. It is the gameplay, the mechanics is what makes this game. So yeah, I could certainly see, obviously a visually downgraded version of this coming to Quest, if indeed that is one of the platforms that it ends up coming to.
yeah,
I think it will translate quite nicely.
yeah, absolutely.
What else? Zenith. You had the opportunity to learn some new details about what Zenith has planned. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, Zenith is, again, another game. These guys are just super proud of what they're able to accomplish. And, whatever we all think of Zenith is, I mean, what they've done is just amazing. I mean, number one, they've made a game that sold more than anything on Steam, flat game included, for a certain period of time. And, when we have a VR game that can do that, that's a milestone. That's something special. And they deserve to pat themselves in the back. And they had a big party tonight and just kind of celebrate. And they invited a whole bunch of people. And they just got a huge uplift of money. They had $35 million that was just basically boosted into into their platform. So we're going to see a lot of big things coming from Zenith. They have a ton of content planned, and some of those things that we were concerned about, that I was concerned about, that Roots was concerned about, and that West was concerned about, which is endgame content. And what do we do what do we do when we hit level 40? Do we just turn the game off? How, don't make me grind forever to get to level 40 and then all of a sudden it's over. Um, they have a lot of stuff planned, and they're far from done with this. They know what they have here, and I think they're going to to really cultivate it and make it work. And yeah, I just love a developer that's so proud of their game like this. It makes you extremely proud and happy to see them do something like this, to where they're just excited to continue to work on this game. So it was cool. It was nice meeting all these guys. They're just like really down to earth, young people that they really want to do well with this game. So
I'm still struck on how this game runs on a Quest too. Like after They keep telling us we can't do open worlds, you can't do Windlands 2. Well, how the fuck do you do this huge open world with all these people running around and there's no lag for anybody? I don't know what the hell they did. They definitely did an amazing job on this game, for sure.
Yeah, Roots, and with this $35 million of new funding, they're talking about adding in literally hundreds of hours of new content into this game,
Wow.
which is exactly what it needs, right?
Yeah, absolutely. End game content, give me some cool weapons and stuff and some bosses and raids to fight. That could be cool, for sure.
What I really want are some new areas that I can go travel to and do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I want to see I want to meet a new Mika. But I want her to be
Oh,
dressed in a
Yeah.
different outfit.
how many Mikas can there
Hey,
be?
I think it's the same one. I think she's just getting around. You know who else loves to get around? Yeah, she does.
I think
yes,
they
I
put
do.
I think they put some of that 35 million into their swag bag they had at the party tonight.
Yeah. Well, you know,
I
I'll
bet.
tell you what, they deserve it. All the people that got to be there deserve that swag bag. I hope there's something good in there for you, Mash.
I don't even know. I haven't even looked yet.
Well, I'll tell you what, you
I have
deserve
no
it,
idea
bro.
what's in there. Thank
I
God
wonder,
for
maybe
thank God for friends who invite me to these parties.
Yeah. Thank God for Skiva and Alex, right?
Awesome dudes, man. Those guys are kicking. Their guys are kicking ass out here. So
happy
I'll just
birthday.
say,
Happy
yeah,
birthday,
Yeah.
Alex,
Happy
by
birthday,
the way.
Alex. Yeah.
yeah. 35
Um,
today. Alex is 35 today, and they were at the Zenith party when I left to come here. They were kicking it off and having a great job. They're doing a great job for uploading. And as hard as I'm working out here, those guys are working probably twice as hard because they're just running from meeting to meeting to meeting. So yeah, super proud of them and what they're doing with upload.
It's cool.
yeah, I got to imagine they're probably exhausted already because all the doors are open for them now, right?
Oh yeah. I
Uh,
mean they're on top of the stuff, and this is such a thrill for all of us to be able to do, but it's a lot of work, man. It's you're running, man. You're running
absolutely.
all day long.
It's not vacation, is it?
No, for sure.
It is
You know
for
what I
your
bet
wife
them
and for
that
your daughter, though.
They are having a blast.
That's
They're having a
awesome.
blast. As long as you go to the right parts of San Francisco. I'll just say that. Don't go to the wrong parts of San Francisco.
That's it. For me, that's everywhere in San Francisco, but I'm sure there's some good places.
Yeah, certainly. Anyway, Captain Toonhead, you had the opportunity to meet with the guys behind that game. They just Roots put a significant update out for Captain Toonhead on Oculus Quest. You know, when Oculus unveiled kind of their application Space Warp technology in an update a few months back, they touted these huge numbers like 60-70% performance that you can gain through proper application of their new space warp technology. But we haven't heard very much of it since then. We haven't heard like developers touting it, that they've used it until now. These guys with Captain Toonhead have fully utilized application space warp and made it so that the Oculus Quest version is nearly identical to the PC version of the game through the footage that I've seen. I have not tried it out firsthand yet, but it looks absolutely amazing. What I've seen in the few clips that I've been able to check out. Eric, what did they have to talk to you about today?
Yeah, I mean they're still working on this game. They're working on other things too, but they're this studio is up and coming, and Oculus is, I can tell you that Oculus has their eyes on this studio. So they like them, or Meta, or whatever you want to call them. They like TerraVision. And I think they like what they can do and like what they've done, and I think we're going to see more from them. But we're not done with this game with them, and I can't say for sure exactly what we'll see, but you might possibly see some co-op, maybe something,
Oh,
maybe.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, and
like I
you
said,
know,
nothing for sure, but I think that's a possibility.
I think Captain Toon had one of the more underrated games over the last 6 months or so that we've had the opportunity to play. I think that that was a solid one, and for whatever reason, it didn't hit with certain reviewers, or maybe it was overshadowed by other games that were coming out at that time. But I saw an article on Upload a few days ago, kind of touting this new upcoming uh, wave shooter as the best wave shooter I've played in years. And I watched a 10-minute gameplay segment of it, and it did look cool. But what I was thinking the whole time I was watching it is this better than Captain Toonhead? Certainly, it's not better than Crashland. Um, so yeah, I think that those out there who enjoy that kind of shooter should give Toonhead a look, because it's not just a wave shooter; it's a wave shooter that's kind of wrapped up in this tower defense, um, this tower defense package, and it all works together very well. And there's a lot of great comedy in there as well.
Yeah, just a super cool studio and just awesome dudes, and they're funny, they're quirky. You can see by talking to them like where they get this humor from, and I think they have a lot of fun doing this game, and you know, the freaking who doesn't want to talk about weaponized LeChonklas?
That's
That's
true.
what I was talking. I told him today. I'm like, dude, that's like one of the best things I've ever seen in a game. I mean, where do you come up with that stuff?
Well, it must be it's something in the culture, because I actually mentioned that to somebody in somebody's apartment, and they knew exactly what I was talking about. I don't even know how it came up, but it was crazy.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this game. I actually would like to get back in, put some more time into it. Like there's a lot to it. Easy to play and difficult to master, this one.
Be a good streaming game.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because you're even if you fail, you just restart again. And streaming is all about filling that time, really. I guess, and of course, quality content. But
And absolutely a perfect setup for co-op here. Like that, if there was ever a game that was made for co-op, I think this is the one.
yeah, this and Returnal is the two co-op games of the all time.
did you
Absolutely.
guys do it yet? Did you guys
We
play
have not.
Returnal yet?
We were just talking about that earlier today.
Did you bring your PS5 with you? I'll play
Oh my
after the
god,
show if you want.
I should have.
You should have. You'd
I
be in
should
Elden
have.
Ring. It would distract you. Don't. It's a good thing
Oh,
you
dude,
didn't.
I'm so very glad.
Anyway, I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear that TerraVision Games still out there, still working on this game, and has other things going on as well. So certainly more to hear from these guys over the coming months and years. Uh, and I'm glad to hear it. They're a cool bunch of dudes.
Yeah, for sure.
I also happen to know that you had a fairly interesting meeting with Resolution Games yesterday, and this specifically interesting because of not only what you did with these people, but who it was that you met. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I got a chance to go to another, not on the GDC floor. They're off site. But yeah, I met with Resolution Games. I met with the two top developers and the CEO of the company, and they demoed the flat version of Demio for me. And I can't really say anything about what I did, or I can't even give impressions. All I can say is I'm extremely excited for everybody to take a look at this, and it's going to be amazing. And just the implications of being able to have a flat game that you can play with somebody in VR is amazing. And think about how many more people that you could bring into VR potentially. If they're playing flat and they see somebody in there playing VR, and they're like, "Wow, how are you doing this? How do I see your hands?" You know what I mean? Because you can see that. You can see the person. You know how in Demio you can see everybody's hands. Well, as a flat player, you can see that as well. So just think of the implications of that and being able to bring more people into VR. And again, well, I can't tell you the first impressions of the game itself. I can tell you that they're extremely proud of this and they're extremely happy. And again, this is a VR company first, even though they're making this into a flat game. And guess what? They want to bring more people into VR, so they're extremely proud that they think this is going to be a way to bring more people to the VR platform, is to have flat gamers playing with VR players, and you know, uh, and giving people a glimpse into what they could be missing with in virtual reality.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I tell you, they must be very excited about the prospects of it. If they have Tommy Palm out there in San Francisco demoing this personally for people, I mean, that guy is a G. Like he's one of the the big names in our industry right now, and the fact that you got a chance to sit down with him absolutely blows my mind.
Super
Um,
cool. And the lead developers too. I met two of the lead developers for it. These guys were so knowledgeable and knew so much, and they were like, we ended up getting like off topic at one point, and they were talking about how proud of they were of Akron and how amazing and and like how great that game was, and that they worked really hard on it, and they're they love how you can play it in VR and flat, and then the one developer I was talking to that was there did bait and how great and we were talking about bait and how that is such an approachable game for new people in the VR and it's free and they put it out there for everybody and they were just telling me some of the ways they made that game and what they had to do to create that game and how they set up the levels. It was just one of the coolest things I've ever done and these guys were so cool and I mean to be in the room with these guys, sitting down, the four of us on laptops playing this game while one guy was in VR, it was just so cool.
Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, Resolution Games, kind of the OGs with the idea of hybrid games, right? Like they're doing hybrid games before hybrid games are a thing, and I think that's only going to pay off for them, even more so in the long term. Resolution Games subsequently are our studio of the year during the 2021 show that because of the moves and strides that they're making, and they just continue to make correct decision after correct decision, and it's really paying off for them.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, and then everybody's going to be able to see it soon because we're talking April 7th. We're going to be able to give our impressions on the 24th. And then the game comes out on the 7th and I think it's going to blow people away. I'm super excited.
Me too.
So, yeah,
Yeah, I
looking
love
forward
this.
to that. So
I love this game so much. I think I'll love it flat as well. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's gonna make a difference to me. I think I'm love it either way.
Yeah. It's so funny with
uh,
these guys too because we had an hour to do this demo, and they're like super serious. I'm like, they wanted to win, dude. They weren't messing around. I'm asking questions after question, and I'm just trying to like see what the hell's going on. And these guys were like focused. They're like, let's do this and let's do that. They're like, no, don't go there, don't do that. And I'm like, well, I just want to talk to you guys. But they were like, they wanted to win. And how many times they probably had to play this match, but they did it with everybody probably every hour for 10 hours a day. But yeah, they were just super cool.
yeah. I've lost my train of thought. What I was going to say there now. Anyway, more to come on this game as we approach the April 7th launch date. If you haven't already, be sure that you've hit the big red subscribe button and ring that bell to hear more about Demio and all of these games pretty much that we've talked about today. I have a couple more items on the list here that you mentioned to me, although I didn't get a chance to talk to you off air specifically about what you have to say. So I'll just kind of mention these studios and let you take it. Owlchemy Labs, these are the developers, notably behind, Job Simulator, Vacation Simulator, most recently Cosmonius High. What kind of interactions did you have with Owlchemy over the
Yeah,
last day or two?
I'm gonna meet with them actually again tomorrow and look at Cosmonius High a little bit closer and talk to them directly. But what I really wanted to say with them is they've done a lot of talks here, a lot of summit talks, and what I was most impressed with them is they've focused a lot of their summit talks on accessibility in virtual reality and how they really, really work hard with their games onto making virtual reality and their games accessible to all people, especially people with disabilities. And if you look at the games that they make a lot of them that you only need one hand to play with, or you need to only do certain things with. And one of the summit talks they did, they had a gentleman from the Inverse, which is it's like a digital. blog or something like that, and the guy who does it has cerebral palsy, and he's loves virtual reality. And so he was, he was on camera with one of the lead developers of Alchemy Labs, and I think his name is Andrew. But yeah, he was and Devin, and they were talking about, how they really, really work hard to make these games accessible to everybody, and what developers have to go through to make these games accessible. Again, we turn these games on and we play them, and that's all we think about. But to think about what these developers have to go through, I got a really good look into see, what they have to go through to get these games out there. And forget about like disability, physical disabilities. Think about a lot of what they were talking about was um, captioning. Now, Oculus doesn't have just a button that you flip on that allows you to do captioning to where you would see the word and not hear it. But it's an important part of the game, and something that they focus on. And his whole thought was they're a 40-person team, and they can afford to put 2 or 3 people on captioning to make captioning happen in a game, because it's not easy to do. But think about it, if you're a 4-person dev team, and what do you do if you need to put captioning in your game, or you want to put captioning in your game so everybody can enjoy it? And these are just some of the hurdles that these developers have to go through to make these games, and it's important. I think it's important to look at some other sides of gaming other than just the basics, having fun, what we do. So I thought it was just a cool thing that Alchemy did, and Shell Games too. By the way, they were there on that panel as well, because Shell Games, think about I Expect You to Die and I Expect You to Die Too. Um, all both you can just use one hand to play with, and extremely accessible, and they do these things on purpose.
Yeah, Shell Games is another one of those companies like Resolution that kind of has their hand in so many different pots. And it's odd because people don't typically think about Shell Games in that light. When people think about Shell Games, they think about I Expect You to Die. But obviously, they're working on Among Us, bringing that into VR. I think that they're one of the studios that are working on making content for the Hollow Ride that we were talking about earlier. I mean, these guys have their hands in a whole lot of different pots. And what you're talking about here, specifically with the accessibility, is kind of one of those things that we don't think about a lot, but it's one of the more important things that VR does. I mean, when you think about people like us, obviously we're not with physical or mental disabilities, but you know, I come from a pretty I don't know how to put this. I don't come from money. Like I come from the dirt pretty much. And I do all right for myself and my family these days, but I'm not someone who can experience a lot of what this world has to offer. And that's kind of one of the things that VR gives me is the ability to go places I'd never be able to go, do things that I'd never be able to do. And then when you think about people who do have physical and mental disabilities, VR kind of has that same value for them, only it's so much more profound because I mean these are people who can't go outside without it being a huge ordeal or getting help from someone else. So the idea that they can just slip on a headset and kind of step outside of whatever restraints that you may have, be it physical, mental, financial, the fact that you can just put on this headset and kind of shed all that away is a very freeing thing, and is one of the reasons why I'm uh, kind of a believer in this kind of metaverse vision that has been put forth over the last 6 months. And it's good to see that there are companies out there like Alchemy, like Shell, that are kind of leaning into that, and I think it's commendable.
Wolfie says he's got both physical and mental disabilities, I guess, officially and everything, and it's been his savior. And he's like, it's one of the things that like his channel, that's what he wants to like showcase, is like how much VR can help people. Because we were just talking about this the other day, like a lot of times I was talking to him about it, like just doing the things you need to do physically that you have to do that you don't want to do that hurt, right? But when you get into VR, you forget, and you're just having so much fun, you can actually hurt yourself if you're not careful, like he did recently with his elbow by playing too much. So yeah, it's crazy. It's super cool that you have devs that actually care about it, right?
Yeah, for
Go
sure.
ahead,
Even
Larry.
to the or they sometimes they sacrifice. You sacrifice in these games, and maybe you don't make the game exactly. They made the lady, I can't remember her name now. I apologize to her, but she was from Schell Games. They were talking about one of the developers at one point said they wanted to have an accordion, and I Expect You to Die 2, where you actually played the accordion in one of the levels. And they said, that sounds like a fantastic idea. We'd love to do it. But guess what? We decided a long time ago that this is a one-handed game, and we're going to keep it a one-handed game, so we can't do an accordion. So they didn't do it. So that was just one of the things that they talked about. So a lot of times they do sacrifice, in some of the things they're doing to make sure it's accessible to everybody. So it was just super interesting with me, and and that was one of those talks. It was over an hour, and I was just completely fascinated by this whole thing, and it was one of the best things I took away from the summit talks that I had the first 2 days.
Yeah, absolutely. I love to hear about this sort of thing. It was one of the things I really appreciated about Half-Life Alex when it came out, was that it was so accessible to everyone. Anyone can play it. No, modest rig, the best rig in the world. Physically handicapped, whatever. Anybody can play that game, and I think it's absolutely amazing that we do have these developers out there who let's face it, they're sacrificing to in order to make this happen for this very specific marginalized part of the market. So kudos to them, kudos to Schell, kudos to Owlchemy and anyone else who are kind of operating in this space, because it's important. And like Wolvie said, for these people, it's everything, right? It's everything.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Especially
and
like this one guy. This guy had cerebral palsy, man, and he was like, he loved VR. You could tell he was talking. He loved VR, and he just has difficulty doing certain things. And he was just like so happy that to be doing this talk. Number one, he was happy to be part of it, and you could tell that he was so like happy that they were making these games that he could enjoy still.
yeah, and one more thing, if Wolveraza is moving around too much and getting himself hurt when he's in VR, I would highly suggest that he goes and buys a headset with a cable on it, something that's going to keep him in
Tethered.
one spot. Yeah, he needs to be tied down
You-
to one spot. Maybe play seated, and maybe I don't know, something camera based would even be even better, because then he really wouldn't be able to move around at all.
PSVR
I think it'd
for
be
real.
perfect.
Oh, two.
He says
PSVR 2?
yeah, he says trying to exercise outside of VR is like trying to stab himself intentionally. So yeah, that definitely does not sound good. I think VR sounds a lot more entertaining. I know for me, Supernatural is it's just you forget that you're doing. You know what I mean? You're having fun, and it's
Wife
cool.
loves it, dude. She's in there every day. Like, really, I haven't seen her stick to an exercise regimen like this ever. I've been with that woman for going on 3 decades now, and
Oh, cool.
uh, I've never seen her stick to something the way she's sticking to that.
That's
It's
awesome.
amazing.
There's
Yeah.
nothing
The
better.
new Disney stuff too.
Yeah,
I had to tell my wife all about it. She put something on Facebook about the new Disney routines.
that's crazy,
Yep.
right?
She
Yeah.
loves it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Island Kara says Jeff can't play VR. Well, Jeff can play I Expect You to Die, all right?
Yeah.
One-handed.
You,
Although I don't know if someone out there like Sloth, I don't know that he's going to be able to get the IPD out quite enough to
probably won't fit.
especially on the Quest 2, right?
They have to use Pimax maybe just to make it even out, right?
2 Pimaxes put
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Or 12K. They I know this weekend, this Friday, I think MRTV's promising some new info on 12K. I think they might even be there demoing it. I'm not 100% on that though. I know Pimax is doing stuff this week. Apparently, the more information on that 12K headset, I'll be certainly interested to hear how it's changed since they unveiled it during Oculus Connect.
Yeah. I'm sure. Well, let's just think what's came out since then from competitors, and that's a good chance that something's changed from that.
They've already promised everything, dude. This is a 12K PCVR headset that also operates as a standalone. Remember, this is a standalone headset as
Oh,
well.
wow.
With 2 chips in it. So you have an XR2 chip in your Quest 2. Well, guess what?
We got
We have
2.
2 XR2 chips in
I
ours.
got 4 in mine.
Uh,
What do you think? You're better than me?
right.
You think
So I'm
you're
going to be
better
real
than
interested
me?
to hearing how this thing turns out. If they still are sticking with that spec sheet, or if they're going to dial it back a little bit.
I don't see how they can't. I don't know, man. That's weird. I mean, it sounds good. Sounds too good to be true. And usually when something's too good to be true,
It does.
you get fucked. So
I'll tell you what. If they can deliver that product, it's every bit worth the $2,000 or 2,400 or whatever it is they're asking for it. Like, if they deliver what they're promising, it's worth that money. Like, it's going to be crazy.
$4,000 because you better have a 3080 or better because you're not playing that on a 2080.
Right.
No way. Probably even a
I
3080 Ti would be
I might
beneficial.
I might need to keep the one I have just so I can trade it in on a 12K.
That's
'Cause I think
right.
you get like a trade-in system or something.
They do have a trade-in
100%
system.
trade in. Yeah, it's 100%. That you get every penny of it towards your 12K. Yeah,
We'll
so,
see
yeah, we'll see. Right, exactly. We'll see.
next
And
week.
really, I think they will deliver this headset. Really, because they've always delivered exactly what they said they were going to. The problem is that they deliver it a year later than they say that they're going to. So, like, if they launch this product when they say they're going to launch it, it'll be amazing. If it's another year to 18 months out from then, how amazing is it going to be? Probably not as much. But we'll see. You know, the tech is changing at a breakneck speed now, and it's like almost uh by the time a product can actually reach market, the next gen is already dropped in terms of what the tech is capable of. So it's an exciting time,
Well,
to
here's
say the least.
the problem with the technology they do to be able to get that wide field of view might not. I guarantee something better is going to come out. Whatever trickery they're doing to, you know what I mean? Like you said, the technology is leaps and bounds. So if they don't get that out soon enough, I guess they've had their products out. I don't know. I've never really been a big believer in Pimax. For me, I'm not rich, bro. I don't have money to just throw around on fucking headsets. Like that stuff is expensive. Crazy.
Here's the good thing. I have heard mostly good things about the 8KX. I mean, I've heard a couple of weird things about it, about weird glitches and stuff that people have had to kind of work through. But when the thing is working, it's supposed to be a very good experience, and that's different from all of its
True.
predecessors. That's why I'm so interested in hearing what Eric has to say about it. And I want you to have enough time in it so that you're comfortable working around in PyTool, and that you really kind of understand how everything works. And I really, I'm very interested in that product, so I'll be interested to hear what you think about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm 100% going to put it through its paces. So I'm going to spend a good amount of time with it with the 2080. And then I'm going to play pretty much everything I can. And then I'm going to turn around and do the same thing with the 3080. And I'll let everybody know. I'm going to really put some work into it. And, I'll work out something with them. They'll give me a little extension. They're going to have no choice. They want the review.
Well,
They're
you
going to
heard
have to wait.
Well, there you have it, folks. Much more to come on everything we talked about today, as well as Pimax 8KX. Again, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Loads of good stuff coming out on a week in and week out basis here. Eric, thanks for making time for us, man, and leaving the party to come and talk a little VR. Looking forward to tomorrow, right? PSVR 2 confirmed. We're going to hear some stuff about PSVR 2 tomorrow. So looking forward to hearing more from you. And who knows? Well, you'll be traveling on Sunday, won't you? I was going to say, if there was enough cool stuff, maybe we could have you back on Sunday, but you'll be on in the air on Sunday, won't you?
Actually, no, I'll be back. We're leaving Saturday night. We take the red eye Saturday night. I'll be back Sunday morning. So
Oh,
I'll be
cool.
back early. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what this. I still haven't seen 3/4 of what the show floor has to offer, and I'm going to focus on a lot of that tomorrow. And I still have Polyarc Polyarc is at 10 a.m. tomorrow, so have a good sit down with Polyarc and get a good idea what's going on with Moss Book 2. And
Oh, good, good. Remind me to talk to you about that off the air because I was about to send an email, but maybe I can just have you deliver the message in person.
100%. Yeah, I'll meet them.
So Eric, when
Anyway,
you went to CES, right? And was there? I mean, there had to have been stuff that you saw, and would go through my head that you saw after the show. You were like, "Oh fuck, I didn't know that was there. I didn't know that was there." So that you said 3/4 of the floor you haven't even seen. Is there like any fear that you're gonna miss something really good that you didn't know was there? Because there's got to be stuff there that you don't even know, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not as big as CES. Like CES is so vast. I mean, just because that the conventions are huge, and again, there's people all over the place, and then there's people at lobbies and hotels and everywhere. So there's going to be things you're going to miss. But I think the convention center itself and the expo floor itself is small enough that, and I still have 2 more days there. So I think I'm pretty sure I'll see everything that's on the show floor. But yeah, there's going to be stuff that I'm just not able to get to, or I am going to have access to. Um, I'm still small fish here, so it's to me a lot of times I'm just trying to force my foot through the door with a lot of these things, and I'm just not going to have access. And maybe next year when we all come together, we'll have better. We'll be a little bit more important that we'll get invited to these things without having to go look for them. But yeah, there's things I'm going to mix, but I'll find as much as I can, and I'm sure I'll have more awesome stuff to tell you guys.
well,
Cool.
I don't know specifically what's there and what's not there, but just operating off the top of my head from memory on this research I did for Sunday's show, I know that new Altair Breaker game, the one that's from the developers of Swords of Gargantua, their new game, they're demoing it for the first time at GDC. So I know that's there. If you can somehow manage to find it, they are demoing that one.
I will see them. I have an appointment with them tomorrow, actually. So
Oh,
that one I definitely 100% will see. And I can tell you that I talked to Alex and Skiva from Between Realities, and they did have an appointment and demo today, and he said it was amazing. So looking
oh,
forward to that as
Nice.
well.
cool.
Yep.
Hey, and Eric, tell your wife and your daughter thank you. It's like 2:30, almost 3 o'clock, and they're still like couldn't go to sleep this whole time. So how cool.
They're out, dude.
Uh,
It's 11:40 here, and they're
oh, that's right.
my wife.
I forgot you're like an hour back behind, right? For
Yeah,
me, I
yeah,
guess.
behind you. Yeah, I'm 3 hours behind Wes. So yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's late for me. It's getting late for Roots, and
Early for Eric.
Eric's doing pretty good. You might still be able to catch the end of the party, Eric.
That's right, man. California time.
There's so many parties. I mean, there's like every night there's like 4 different parties. There was a party I couldn't even get into last night. There was so many people. You had to get a ticket to the event, and there was like 400 people, and their place that only held like 250 people. So
Mm,
it's crazy.
You're not on the
Crazy.
list, bro.
I need you guys with me. Help me kick through some of these doors.
yeah, I don't know that I'm going to help anybody get through the door, but it'd be it's strength in numbers, right?
Well, you know what they
Absolutely.
say, those people who actually made it in, I heard they think they're better than you.
Me
You
too.
think you're better than me? I
They
don't think
probably are.
they could be.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know, maybe, probably, likely.
Traveling Man says, "Wish Alex a happy birthday for us, Mash."
I absolutely
Absolutely.
will. I'll see him tomorrow, and I'll let him know, man. He was having a good time when I left.
I bet.
Right. Well, with that, I think we're going to wrap it up and call it an episode. I want to thank everyone in the chat who hung out and stayed up late to talk a little VR with us. And I want to again thank you, Eric, for making time for us and bringing us the deets on what sounds like an amazing time.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
We'll stay in touch with you over the next few days, and who knows, maybe we'll see you on Sunday here if everything shakes out in a favorable way. Anyway, those of you out there who like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. As we already said, be sure you're subscribed, hit the bell, all that good stuff. You'll find links in the description down below to all the good stuff. You'll find a link to Eric's Q2C community on Facebook. If you want to keep up with the minute to minute, day to day stuff that Eric's going through and experiencing while he's at GDC, there's a lot more videos and stuff coming out on the Q2C channel. So be sure that you get over there and subscribe to that one as well. Of course, you'll find our Discord invitation link down below where you can join our community. We're in there 24/7, guys, talking VR, talking life, talking about pretty much everything. It's a great community, and we invite you all to become a part of it if you haven't already. So links to all that stuff, again, in the description down below. And with that said, friends, I'd like to thank you all once again for watching.
Alex is right there.
Eric,
Yeah, who just came in?
Alex, happy birthday, bro.
Yeah,
I
happy
hope you
birthday,
remember
bro.
this tomorrow.
Yeah.
He was feeling pretty good when I left. He was a couple of drinks in. Is he? I wonder if he's
Yeah.
is he at the party still? I wonder, or is he back at the hotel?
That's a good question. He could be just chilling at the hotel, relaxing now, right?
Yeah.
He might be rolling in. So yeah, we'll give everybody a moment here to get their happy birthdays into Alex. And again, thanks guys for hanging out. We will talk to you again very, very soon. For Roots and Eric, I'm Wes. We'll see you in a couple days. Bye-bye.
Take it easy.
See you later.